Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Who the Hell Asked. I am Slade along with Byron once again. What's going on, Byron?
Hey, what's up? We have a lighter palette of gaming news, but let's get right into it.
Yeah, I played the state of play honestly because there wasn't really a whole lot there that was super interesting. But without further ado, let's get underway. All right. So, for those of you who have been, roaming YouTube and possibly seen some Nintendo videos or videos that Nintendo's been advertising, there has been a poll put out asking you which DLC which games you would like to buy DLC for, and the list was very interesting. So, first game on the list, which was like really crazy, was like Hot Wheels, like racing or something.
Oh yeah, Hot
Which
Wheels
is like,
Unleashed, which has at least on Steam $40 worth of DLC.
yeah. Then you had Animal Crossing New Horizons,
Oh,
not surprising, as well as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which again not super surprising. But the one thing on that list that was really fascinating was Mario Party Superstars. So
Yeah. Once again, well, for I think the second or third time on the show, we're delving into rumors. We're delving into
yeah, but
speculation.
this is a little bit more founded than like usual rumors, like we dig into and whatnot. The reason why this is
Yeah.
interesting is because polls like this is how the WarioWare game kind of got quote unquote leaked last
Yes.
year. Because
Yep.
there's a poll on YouTube before the game was announced that it was a thing, and then boom, it became a thing.
Yeah. So when if this is like if Superstars does have DLC, I'm gonna take a guess. We hear it at E3 or
Yeah, I
whatever.
would be inclined to agree. I think Byron and I dismissed it probably because Mario Party usually goes in the direction that they like to make a new Mario Party game with their new boards,
Yeah.
ideas, and
Well,
whatnot.
and at least for me now, that's putting that in a little bit of doubt. I'm still pretty sure the game's not gonna get DLC, but like this YouTube poll shit show rumor whatever has made me question that just a little bit now.
Well, maybe, with the decision for them to make Mario Kart 8 Deluxe DLC, maybe across the board, it's showcasing Nintendo taking a different approach with expanding the lifespan of these games and whatnot. So, really interesting choice overall. Again, we
Yeah.
don't know whether this actually means there's DLC 100% for sure, but I would take this poll as a very strong suggestion that there will be. So,
Yeah.
take it with a grain of salt. It could be what it might be.
Speaking of taking things with a grain of salt, we had the state of play, this PlayStation state of plays, which have become, to me, the Nintendo Direct Mini Partner Showcases. If you remember those from like 2 years ago, from 2020. But there were a few interesting announcements at this state of play. So we have TMNT, the Cowabunga Collection.
That is correct. So it looks like a lot of the old NES and Super Nintendo, beat 'em up Ninja Turtles games are being packed into a collection, which is really awesome, especially for people who didn't get to like experience, those games way back in the day.
Yes.
I
So
know I haven't heard any word on whether or not those are going to remain PlayStation exclusive or not.
I have the word right here. First off, the game lineup. We have TMNT the arcade version. We have Turtles in Time, both the arcade and Super Nintendo versions, which is pretty cool. We have TMNT SNES. We have TMNT 2, the arcade game, the SNES, the NES version. I mean, TMNT 3 Manhattan Project NES. TMNT Tournament Fighters, the NES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis versions. You're getting three different versions of that game, which
Oh yeah.
apparently are three different games, shockingly enough. We have TMNT The Hyperstone Heist, Genesis. TMNT Fall of the Foot Clan, Game Boy. TMNT 2 Back from the Sewers, Game Boy. And TMNT 3 Radical Rescue, Game Boy. This will be available on the Switch, PS4, PS5, Steam, Xbox One, an Xbox Series SX for $40.
Gotcha. So they did announce that they were going to all modern platforms. So
Yeah.
really good news. I think, if anything, this just showcases that the TMNT games were really popping off in the 90s, and now we're going to see them all make their glorious and triumphant return.
Yeah, they were. Especially people really loved TMNT for Turtles in Time, and they hated that.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, that reshelled remake
Yeah.
they did a few years ago. Woo.
So that was the first game, or not really game, but collection of games that kind of grabbed our attention. Another one that Byron was talking to me about was the Diofield Chronicles, and really Square Enix just had a massive presence during the State of Play. I felt like more than 3/4 of the announcements were really all theirs, but
Yeah.
a couple that brought our attention was the Diofield Chronicle.
Which is I think it's like a real time like strategy RPG, like sort of Fire Emblem-esque game.
Yeah, kind of like it's more like Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles than anything, but yeah, a lot of interesting stuff there. Like Byron said, it seems to be real time, so I'll definitely be looking forward to how those elements play into it. And then the other game that grabbed our attention was Valkyrie Elysium, which was the final announcement of the State of Play.
Yep.
Looks like a really pretty third-person action game. At first, I was like, "This isn't Final Fantasy 16 because the fucking art style didn't match the E3 trailer where they announced that it was a thing that it existed."
Yeah.
But everybody else was like, when I was in the call, they're like, "Oh my god, it's Final Fantasy 16." I'm like, "No,
They're getting their hopes way too much up for a State of Play.
Yeah, I'm just like, no. Okay, so I need to see more from this game before I'm terribly interested, but I do think it looks very pretty, and then the combat could be really interesting. But
Yeah.
like I said, that's going to be something where I'll follow it more closely to when the game comes out.
Yeah,
versus...
which it is set to come out this year, and for Diofield Chronicles, it's on everything. It's going to be on everything. It's going to be on all platforms, all modern day platforms. There were two more announcements. First off, Sony did showcase something at their State of Play, Returnal update.
Oh, that is correct. So, what is this, patch 3.0
Yeah,
for Returnal?
Returnal Ascension update 3.0, which will have co-op, which is the big one.
Did they say it was a free update?
Yeah, free update. Yep.
Okay, excellent.
It'll have co-op, and I think it'll have a whole bunch of new areas and weapons. So, pretty cool update. And then we got JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R.
Yep, so that's getting remastered. I didn't see the platforms. Is that on all platforms minus Switch, I presume?
Yeah,
is it also on Switch?
I believe so. I believe it will be on all platforms besides Switch.
So for JoJo fans, that's going to be pretty, exciting and stuff like that.
It's going to be on the Switch as well.
On the Switch as well. Okay, so it's on all modern platforms.
Yeah, it's all on modern platforms. At first, I thought this was an arena fighter. Because I'm like, oh, this is another anime arena fighter. Oh, boy.
No, JoJo. That game's cool.
But yeah, I have been corrected since. That was my first impression of it when I saw it. I'm like, this is an arena fighter. I have been corrected since. It is not your typical anime arena fighter.
No, it plays more like a traditional 2D fighter, which is good, right?
Yeah.
So
these State
of fans can look forward to that. So moving on from the State of Play, we had a couple of other pretty interesting announcements this week.
Sony, please make your State of Plays important for fuck's sake. Please.
So we got a announcement for the Dead Space remake. That's going to come out in early 2023, and that is all the details that they dropped.
That's right, yeah. So, Dead Space Remake was revealed back at the EA Play event in E3 2021. And it just today got the announcement that it is. I think it got like some new gameplay trailers, and it also got the early 2023 window. Now I don't know jack shit from about Dead Space, but how do you feel about this? Since
this is pretty good because one, EA has actually done a pretty spectacular job with a lot of their remakes, remasters, plus their single player games recently.
Yeah.
In the sense that they're letting their studios that work on those games, they're kind of like keeping their hands free and not trying to rush their releases and like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's their multiplayer games that have really suffered the drop off in quality / like rushed releases and stuff like that. So you see shit like Battlefield, Madden, all their sports games kind of just suffer the same issues consistently.
Oh god.
But their single player games, as well as some multiplayer games like Byron and I love to talk about, It Takes Two.
Yep.
Thankfully have been free of EA's very greedy corporate executives.
Yeah.
So,
and dear God, Battlefield 2042 has just been sent to die.
oh yeah, I think fans of Dead Space are hoping that this trend for the single player games for EA continues.
Yep. Yeah, and
So we also hope so.
Yeah, and I know you're looking forward to this since you apparently like Dead Space.
Oh yeah, I played the original was the only one I played. I never actually got into its sequel. I don't even know if there's other ones.
Oh, there's 2 and 3. Yeah.
Yeah, Dead Space is a really good game. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how that pans out modern day and age.
Yeah, and
all right.
And speaking of trends and things playing out, we have quite the final topic this week. The biggest topic in the gaming industry this week, which for this series is shocking. In light of recent world events, Nintendo made the decision to delay Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp from its original release date of April 8th, 2022.
That is correct. So, in light of the Russian invasion of Ukraine and whatnot, I imagine releasing games that centered around, tanks and things like that seems pretty insensitive and whatnot. So obviously, delaying this game makes a lot of sense. Honestly, the Advance Wars series in general is just very cursed.
Yeah, it's fucking cursed. Like, let me tell you, the first game released the day before the 9/11 attacks.
Yep.
The second one, I believe, released a month after one of the, Middle East wars. And then I think Days of Ruin released right in the middle of the U.S. economic financial crisis. In 2008, which this series, there's a reason Nintendo put it down. Well, probably more so because it wasn't a great seller, but now they have an even bigger reason to put
series that's very cursed. It's just never lucky, feels bad. I imagine Intelligent Systems obviously isn't super happy about this because this is basically a completed game.
This is a Way Forward project, not Intelligent Systems.
Oh, Way Forward. Okay,
yeah.
I'm sorry. It's just same. Okay, moving on. So I imagine this is pretty disappointing overall for anyone who's a big Advanced Wars fan and wanting to see the series return. I know I was disappointed. But obviously it makes a lot of sense. This isn't a game that I feel like you can send out there and, with everything going on in the world right now.
Yeah, and I think the fact it's cartoony is why this is happening. If it was more gritty, I don't think people would have cared. Honestly.
Yeah, because obviously
I could be wrong.
You're not going to see the delay of any Call of Duties and stuff like that.
Unless they just delay it for other reasons. Which is very possible. But
so, in light of everything, when do we think this game will release? I mean, it might be years, as in plural, because with the Russian invasion of Ukraine going on, obviously, that's going to take whatever path it's going to go down. Yeah. Hopefully, that doesn't escalate into a much larger conflict with the West
Yeah.
like Europe and the US and stuff like that. But
I do think
again, nobody knows.
I do think it's gonna be a while because thanks to Twitter user Kyle Church, Nintendo even refunded or canceled pre-orders and refunded the money. So
Yeah, so
there's a bigger
years
delay
would
than
be
people
my
think.
prediction.
Yeah. What's your prediction, Slade?
For the release of Advance Wars?
Yeah,
or-
when do you think this comes back into not the limelight, but you know what I mean? When it actually releases. When do you think that
I
happens?
imagine we're not going to see it until the Ukraine situation and whatever may or may not escalate after that dies down, which, that could be a very long time. Like, it could be an extremely long time before we see any of that. So
I give the game like within the next year.
yeah, you think they push it forward for next year?
It's very
I don't know,
possible.
we'll see.
It's very possible because this is 2022 for Nintendo is going to be fucking stacked.
That is true. It also feels like there wasn't a good time to release this game this year anyway, outside of the war situation, like with Kirby coming out this month, and we
Switch,
still haven't got news on Breath of the Wild 2 or
Breath of the
anything
Wild
like that.
2, Switch Sports, Splatoon 3. Like, I
Bayonetta
think it's
3.
possible we don't see this game again until 2023. It's very possible. Maybe,
Yeah, I'm honestly pretty inclined to agree.
Yeah.
At least 2023 or 2024.
Maybe at the earliest, I could see December. At the very earliest, I could see it being a December game, but
well, usually when they take these pre-orders and then they cancel all the pre-orders and games and stuff like that, it's kind of like it's showing that it's delayed indefinitely. And this is a thing, like the game is already gone or was pretty close to going golden. So
if not pretty much is gold at this point.
Yeah, it's like this game's a fully complete fucking ready to ship and
probably
sell
the game is on cartridges already, probably.
Yeah, so at this point I imagine they probably will just delay this into any time where, hey, they have a little bit of a dry space where they aren't releasing anything for multiple months on end.
Yeah, and when
when
the war doesn't become prominent news. I think that's going to be the key, because I think eventually it won't be like the hot topic.
Yeah, it's true. Unfortunately, in the modern world, people tend to move on from pretty serious issues pretty quickly. I don't think people have the mental, stamina. Or, I don't know what the word I'm looking for.
I think mental stamina is the
people
is the
move
right
on from one outrage to another pretty quickly. I would say,
but I do think it's going to be a while. I do think it's not going to be a Star Fox 2 situation where the game's complete and it doesn't see the light of day for like 20 years. No, it's not going to be like that. I do think after this, it might get some marketing whenever its new release date comes, but I wouldn't be shocked if Nintendo was like, hey, it drops, blah, blah, blah. And then just like Nintendo never speaks of Advance Wars ever again.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with your point there.
Yeah.
So that's everything we had to cover for the episode today. Byron, did you have anything else you want to go over, bud?
No. This another palette week. That's so hard to say. Week. It sounds so weird. But this is a very light week in news. And Slade's got some stuff cooking, but he can say that later.
Oh, for sure. But anyways, this has been Slade.
And this has been Byron, and we will see you all next week with hopefully bigger news, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully we get some good announcements next week. Well, that's it, everybody. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.